You guys can have a good vibe or whatever you do with that thing. It's not a secret. Hi guys, it's Ves. Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. In today's video, I'm super excited because we're going to be talking about 7 things I think you should do before you move out of your parents' house. I'm going to be talking from personal experience, things that helped me and my sister move out and make this big change. I'll be mentioning finances, budgeting things, and soul-searching things. So don't forget to subscribe if you're not, and let's get started. Living at home or being with your parents or your guardians has a lot of advantages. It's relatively cheaper than living on your own, and sometimes if they make you pay, it's not as much as you would pay if you were living on your own. With that being said, living on your own is a huge change. Before you start looking for apartments in Zillow or trying to go shopping for your bedroom, here are 7 things that I suggest you should do before you move out of your parents' house. The first thing I suggest you do if you're thinking about moving out of your parents' house is to face the truth about your finances. So starting a Google Sheet or an Excel or something like that. This was something that I did, and it made me realize that some of the money habits that I had were unhealthy and some of the things I was spending money on were unnecessary. In my Google Sheet, I made monthly, weekly, and bi-weekly breakdowns. I have 2 sections. One's called bills and the other one is called subscriptions. So the things that I consider bills are things that are going to get charged regardless. For me, my Invisalign is on there, the $168, I pay for that, and also my phone bill. And in subscriptions, I have things like Amazon, Disney Plus, Hulu, things like that. Having an Excel sheet like this is super important because you're able to see real time if you're ready to move out. You're able to see how much are you making weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, what things should you change. For example, if you don't even watch Disney Plus, you could just take it out of there and that's $6 less you have to spend. So it's good to just keep track of everything, how much you're making and where your money going. Because when you move out, you're going to need to know where it's going because you have other things to pay for. So it's important to just have one place where they all sit. Number 2 is consider the extra cost. Rent isn't the only thing we're going to be paying for. You got to buy things for the house like toilet paper, toothpaste, toothbrushes, extra towels, toilet paper, the other paper for the hands. There's a whole bunch of things you have to pay for, and groceries and sauces for the food and things like that. For your bedroom, you gotta get furniture for the living room, a TV, a bed frame, a bed set, a bed stuff, bed everything. There's so many things you have to buy when it comes to moving out. It's not just I pay my rent and that's it. There's a whole bunch of other little things that you don't consider. When you are budgeting and making a strategy and you think, okay, I make enough for my rent, always make sure to just think about maybe adding a little bit more for those little things that pop up randomly. Number 3 is act as it is. As I mentioned previously, my sister and I moved out and we actually got a debit card together. We just thought it would be easier for paying rent and things like that if we just send money through Zelle or whatever to that card. And then when the rent is due, they take it out of that one card. We prepared for this move months in advance. And we started preparing ourselves, sending weekly money to the account. We took it so serious that one time we were sitting on the couch and Vicky's like, oh my gosh, I forgot to pay my rent. And we were only like 1 month into saving. So take saving money seriously. Take it super, super serious. Act as if you don't pay it, you're gonna get evicted. Like, take it that serious. Because your future self will thank you later for not going out as much or cutting things out or making sure you send the money before the date if you have it. My sister and I saved $10,000 and I don't think we would have been able to do it if we didn't compromise, make a lot of sacrifices, and keep track of our spending. We wasn't making a whole bunch of money. We were both at Staples, so we were able to do it just because we really worked hard and really kept it in mind and took it serious as if we were already moved in. Number 4 is maybe one of my favorite tips, is to spend time with those you're living now. So your family, your guardians, your cousins, your aunts, spend time with them. Spending time with your family or the people you're living with is important for many reasons. Firstly, this gives you time to think about what's the true reason you're leaving. Sometimes our parents piss us off and we're like, I'm leaving. But don't leave on bad terms with anybody or make somebody feel like, oh, she's leaving because she don't want to be here anymore. Life thinks it's hilarious. So you think you're all set, you think you're all good, and then boom, something happens and you end up needing them again or having to move back in. Hopefully not, but something like that might happen. So you don't want to be on bad terms with anybody. And también, you don't want somebody to do mal de ojo on your new place. But in all honesty, spending time is important because, honestly, you're going to miss them.
Se llama Sex on the Beach. Wow.
I spent 20 years of my life in a super loud environment where people come over loud and unannounced. And in my house now, like, nothing makes noise here. If the TV is not on or if we don't have music on, it's silent here. Because I'm working a lot of the times, if you guys saw my other video, you guys know that I work 7 days a week. Because of my schedule, it's hard for me to see my family, like my mom, my sister, my grandma, not this sister, the other one. And it's hard for me to see them sometimes. So that's why I'm glad that I had the quality time to be with them in quarantine. I'm not glad COVID happened, of course not. I'm glad I got to spend quality time with them. So I really love that Vicky and I got to spend that time with them. And now being here by ourselves, we're like a little calmer because we were able to spend time with them and have that moment with them. And now it's our time to shine. Spend time with your loved ones before you move out of their house, because when you move out by yourself, it's pretty lonely. I'm not even gonna lie. And even though I have my sister, we still get super lonely here. So spend time with them so they can come visit you when you guys can have a good vibe. Spending time with them is really important, and showing them love as well. I have a whole video ready for you guys about how quarantine was like and what it was like. It was like a vlog situation. So you guys want to see it, just let me know down below. Tell me if you guys want to see it and I'll post it. But I filmed it like in March. But yeah, let me know. Number 5 is to research where you want to live and expand your search. Having your ideal area is really important because you get to see what houses and what apartments are in that area. With that being said, you can either raise your expectations or you could lower it depending on the area. Honestly, Vicky and I didn't think that we were going to be able to live in the neighborhood that we wanted to, because people who live here stay here for years, and their kids stay here for years, and their kids stay here for years. So we didn't think that it was going to be possible. We expanded our search to maybe not this exact neighborhood, but a couple stops away. We ended up getting one right in our desired area, but the point is, we were willing to compromise and do a little give or take. When we expanded our search, we saw way more apartments. Neighborhoods and places we would never even think about giving a chance, we gave it a chance. If we didn't train ourselves and practice compromising, we wouldn't have this apartment right now. Our apartment isn't perfect, nothing's perfect. There's things we don't like about this house. And if someone was to tell us things about this house and be like, hey, you guys are gonna move into an apartment that has an attached kitchen and living room, I think Vicky and I would have ran. We would have been like, nope, not happening. But we trained ourselves to give things a chance. And that started with expanding our search. And by expanding your search, I mean expanding it literally, like finding different zip codes. And also mentally, expanding your search, expanding your expectations, expanding the possibilities of other things. Number 6 is do an absolutely and absolutely not list. This may sound like I'm contradicting myself, but let me explain. Having an absolutely list is things that you absolutely want in your apartment. Having an absolutely not list is things you will not accept. These lists don't have to be written in stone like, I better have this apartment or else. No, but at least it gives you somewhere to start. There's so many apartments everywhere around the world, and you can't just click, okay, search, because you need something specific. So you could start looking at things that you like and things that you dislike. By having these lists, you're able to find out your personal style when it comes to a home. You could better separate I like it from I love it. And a quick tip, you know when you may have found your apartment, when things that were absolutely no to you are they're not that bad anymore. When you make that change in your mind where you're like, you know what, this isn't such a big deal, that's when you know you may have found your apartment. There's a whole bunch of things Vicky and I compromised on in this apartment. But that's how we knew that this was the one for us. Because the things we said no to are the things that we actually are starting to like. So make an absolutely and absolutely not list to get you started. Number 7 is something I'm still working on at this moment. It's to fix the little things inside of you before you move. There's so many habits we have, some bigger than others, that are really bad for us. They affect us and the way we live our lives. When you move out, you're gonna be handling these struggles head on. No excuses. Let me give you guys an example. I don't know how to cook. It's not a secret. Honestly, I think growing up, I felt like I didn't have to learn. I guess I figured growing up, I'd always be with somebody who knows how to cook. So I didn't need to. And that's very wrong. Because now I'm older, I'm here in an apartment by myself with my sister. And I stare at a fridge and I don't know where to start. Because I eat it, but I don't know what it looks like before I ate it. I never really sat there and looked at them cooking or like really cared to. I just thought that I'll figure it out one day. Now that one day has come, and it's like my sister just got surgery. She got a whole knee surgery and she wasn't here for like a week and a half. And honestly, I was eating eggs, trying to make sandwiches, making tuna, because I don't know how to cook. If I were to have dealt with that when I was in my parents' house a little bit more, I would have been more prepared for living by myself. It shouldn't always be on her to make us something to eat. I should be able to contribute as well. So that's something that I'm working on now. We have 2 months that we've lived in our new apartment, and I've made rice. I'm gonna make a chefly Vesly for you guys. And I'm really, really excited to learn and contribute that way. Growing up, I didn't really clean that much. Everybody around me was always cleaning 24/7, so I didn't really have to. I was conscious of this, and months before I moved, I would take an estropajo and I'll be there scrubbing or whatever you do with that thing. And I'll clean and I'll do laundry and I'll just sweep and I'll just randomly mop and do these things so I could prepare myself for when the real thing happens. This also applies to money habits. Before my move, I made sure to track my money habits and make sure that I'm doing a good job and make sure I'm not overspending on anything unnecessary and things like that. So number 7 is just fix the little things that make a big difference in your life before you move. That is the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Those were 7 things. Those are 7 things I suggest you should do before you move out of your parents' house, before you move out of your guardian's house, just to keep those things in mind. I hope these were really helpful for you guys. If you guys have any suggestions for any videos, if you have any questions, let me know down below. I'll answer them like I do all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.